Hey guys, today I'm going to show you one of my favorite soups. Today I've had a sick kid who's been running fever and I thought this soup would be perfect. It is called slow cooker Moroccan chickpea stew. It may not sound very good, but I'm telling y'all it is delicious. The recipe is from SkinnyTaste and that's where I found it several years ago. Like I said, I do change it up a little bit, but for the most part, I stick with this. So let me show you how we make it. I do double this recipe just because I like having a big pot of soup and so I can freeze the leftovers. So I'm going to start out with about 2.5 pounds of ground beef. Excuse me, 2.5 pounds of ground turkey. So if y'all can see, I don't know if y'all can or not, my ground turkey is almost all the way done. So I'm gonna go ahead and start adding in my vegetables. The recipe calls for, again, I'm doubling the recipe, so you can definitely cut these amounts in half if you want to just make the original recipe. But the recipe calls for 2 cups of carrots and 2 cups of celery in the doubled version. I'm not a huge fan of celery, but I still have 4 cups of chopped vegetables, but mine are mostly carrots with just a little bit of celery, so you can tailor make this to however your family likes it. So I'm going to dump those in. And if your turkey is super lean, I think mine was the 85-15 maybe. But if it's super lean and you don't have any type of grease or anything, you could add a little bit of oil for your vegetables. Now I'm going to add in a whole chopped onion. I'm going to just let this cook for just a few minutes until my vegetables start to soften just a little bit. It won't take very long, just a few minutes. I did go in and add just a little bit of olive oil because mine was getting kind of dry because I didn't have much fat left from my turkey. So I did add just a little bit of olive oil just to help saute the vegetables. And now I'm going to go ahead and add in the equivalent to 3 or 4 cloves of garlic. And I'm using the garlic. Now I'm going to start adding my spices. So I'm fixing to add in 4 teaspoons, which is also a tablespoon, and 1 teaspoon of turmeric. And I'm going to add my spices per the recipe and then taste it later. And I can always add more if I want a little bit more. So again, this is going to be 4 teaspoons. Now I'm going to go in with 2 teaspoons of coriander. And I'll probably do these heaping because I like coriander. Just a little bit more. Now I'm going to go in with about 3 teaspoons of paprika. I'm going to add a little bit of salt, but I'm not going to add a whole lot because my broth is just regular broth. It's not low sodium or anything, so I don't want to get it too salty, but I am going to go ahead and add about 1 teaspoon or 2 of salt. Now we're going to add in about 4 or so bay leaves. And always remember how many you put in so you know how many to pull out at the end. Y'all see that pretty color on that? I know you can't see with my lighting. So now I'm going to go in with about 4 cups of broth. So that's this whole chicken broth. That's this whole container. I may have to add more. I usually do, but I'm just starting out with this amount for now. Now you're going to want to add in 2 of the large 28-ounce cans or 4 of the small, like 15-ish ounce cans of petite diced tomatoes. The store I was at yesterday did not have petite diced tomatoes. They just had regular diced. So I don't like the big hunks of tomato in my soup. So I dumped them in this bowl and just squished it with my hands to kind of break it up in smaller pieces. So that's what I did to kind of make it smaller. You don't have to do that. So I'm fixing to add that to the soup. Now we're fixing to add 4 cans of chickpeas that have been rinsed and drained. It does need a little more broth. And I'm gonna try to, I had this little bit in the refrigerator. This is actually beef bone broth. I have this amount left in my fridge. So I'm just gonna add that to keep from opening up another big container. Or you could add water. But I'm gonna use this up since it's in my fridge. That wasn't very much. I went ahead and tasted my broth before it came up to a boil. And I went ahead and added a little bit more of each of my spices. The turmeric, the coriander, the paprika, and salt. I went ahead and added a little bit more of each of those just for our liking. So I'm gonna let this come up to a boil, and then I'm gonna turn it down on low and let it simmer until my vegetables get tender, and I'll check back. Okay guys, my soup has been simmering for about 40 minutes or so. My vegetables are tender. If y'all can see.
Moroccan soup.
Did y'all hear my husband in there? Anyway, so my vegetables are nice and tender, and this soup is looking good. I checked it for seasoning, and I did go back and add in a little bit more salt. So make sure you check it for seasoning, you know, because sometimes you have to adjust. I'm going to go ahead and add in a little bit of fresh chopped parsley, but I'm going to reserve a little bit of parsley to put on top of our bowls. So I'm going to stir this in, and then we're going to get ready to do a taste test. Okay guys, let me show you my bowl. My ring light went out, so I have no idea what's happened there, but my ring light went out, so the lighting's even worse than it was before. But here's my bowl. Doesn't that look so hearty and warm? And it is so good. It's so good with all that turmeric and those warm spices. And I'm serving it with some little garlic naan that I bought at Aldi. Heated it up in the oven and brushed it with a little bit of olive oil. This bowl's getting hot. So there it is. So now I'm going to go in for the taste test. It's hot. Get a little bit of everything on there. Look at that. That is so good. It's just the right amount of spices in it. It's warm, especially if it's a cold day. I mean, that's going to be so good. I don't even know what else to say about it, y'all. It's probably just about my favorite soup. Used to be taco soup and potato soup, but once I found this one's kind of my favorite. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to try it with the naan. That's good. That's the first time I've ever had naan. But anyway, there's our soup for today. So I hope it'll make my son, who's been sick today, I hope it'll make him feel better. So we're going to go enjoy this warm soup, and I will talk to you later. Bye.